Hey guys, welcome to what to me is an exciting video today because I really like shopping at dollar stores. I love Dollar Tree and I love Dollarama, and I think you have to be careful what you buy in each of these places. Not everything is amazing, but today I want to share 20 things that I like to buy at the Dollar Tree, and I think you should too. But this is not going to be like only 20 things you should buy there, because as I started going through the store I realized we got to break this into parts. So this is kind of like the first half to third of the store, 20 plus things that I like to buy from there. I'm not going to be listing everything. I don't think everything's a good deal, like I was saying. You have to be careful, but these are 20 plus things that are definitely worth buying from there. Now, like I said, you gotta be careful. Some things are just really cheap quality. You're not gonna want to buy those. Some things may actually be cheaper other places, or maybe if you buy them in bulk, they end up being cheaper. But sometimes I need to weigh that cost of, is it going to be more to drive farther to get an item, or is it actually just cheaper to buy it from Dollar Tree with what ends up being a little bit more money, but the fact that I didn't have to pay as much gas to get there. You know, you gotta weigh all these decisions. To me, the dollar stores are closer to me than something like a Walmart, so I might buy things from there that might be cheaper at Walmart, but if I have to spend the gas to go to Walmart anyway, they actually are cheaper at dollar stores. So let's talk about the Dollar Tree today. 20 things I love to buy from there. So I thought I would go specifically for this video, go to Dollar Tree, and I walked into the store, and normally I don't think they have like clothing necessarily right there. The front part changes up quite a bit, but I saw this American Apparel shirt that I instantly picked up because I love the feel of tri-blend shirts. I ended up not buying this shirt because the coloring, I don't think it quite came through in the video. It was just not a coloring that I feel like would work for me. It was close, but just a little bit off. But this is a much more expensive shirt than, well, in Canada we're at $1.50 for Dollar Tree. The States I know are $1.25. It's worth a lot more than $1.25, $1.50. So if that coloring worked for me, I would have bought it for sure. I often skip over the more like seasonal stuff and go straight into the regular aisles. And so one of the first aisles that I come across is cards. And you can get anything from regular greeting cards I like to buy from there. I lean towards buying people tacky cards because if I overanalyze it for a long time, like I can really overanalyze things. And so I generally just tend to buy weird, wacky cards if I'm buying that kind of card, like a birthday card or something. And then right next to there, they have their blank inside cards. And I have a whole tote where I store blank inside cards. I like the ones that have, you know, something on the outside and then you can just write whatever on the inside. And then in the craft section, they also have completely blank cards, little pieces of cardstock with envelopes. You just fold it, you've got a card. If you're feeling a little bit more crafty that day. I love all kinds of cards from the Dollar Tree. Now, when it comes to the kids' toy section, we often skip over there. You can find good things, but you really have to look. Right now they do have like mini Uno cards. I forgot to take a little video of that, but they looked like fun, but we have the regular ones, so I didn't think it would be worth it to buy extra Uno cards. But my kids really like to buy balloons from there. Just regular old balloons. Sometimes they'll fill them up with water and bounce on the trampoline with them as well. But that is one thing that my son always gravitates to. And of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't go look at the book section. This you definitely have to sift through, but I have found some of my favorite books, like copies of them, at the Dollar Tree. It just takes some looking, and I go there every time I go in. Sometimes there's nothing, and then like the odd time I can get a really good deal on a book that I love. And then of course we've got the whole kids coloring section. There are coloring books and activity books. Now my kids don't really care what kind of quality of paper they write on. Right now, if it's like Paw Patrol or princesses or something of the sort, we're happy. So getting these coloring books that honestly the 2-year-old isn't the best artist at this point. She's just gonna kind of scribble in it anyway. The Dollar Tree to me is the perfect place to buy the books. And then if you're a weird adult like me and you really like word searches, they've got you covered. I don't do a ton of them, but I do enjoy them. And I often, if we're going on a trip, will have one in my bag, and I'll work on a word search on the plane or in the vehicle at random times. So the Dollar Tree is a good place for those. We also like their wall decal section. Sometimes there's better ones than others, but especially with fostering, we've had to put up a bunch of decals and take them down, and then when kids change rooms, it's super easy just to grab a new pack of decals, make a room look like it's theirs. And my daughter, when she was in the previous room from what she's in now, she had her room really nicely set up with like butterflies on the walls, and we have bought quite a few wall decals, which has helped us from, you know, having to paint walls or different things when kids change rooms and change tastes. Backtracking a little bit in the store, there's a huge gift wrap department. My personal favorite is the gift bags. I do wish I would wrap gifts more, but gift bags are easy, and I always get the craft ones because they're just brown. They can be used for any age, any gender, any occasion. It just makes my life easier than, you know, only having like it's a boy bags and you're trying to go to a wedding or something like that. So stick with the brown craft bags. The crafting section and stationery aisle, like that's all one in the one that I tend to go to, and this is my dangerous zone for sure. So right away, one of the things I often buy from there is acrylic paint, especially if you're going to be painting with kids that are old enough to kind of know what they're doing, but you don't want to be spending tons of money on acrylic paint. Like, you don't want the most expensive acrylic paint, but they want to craft with you. The dollar store stuff works great, and I've used it for a ton of projects for myself as well. Yes, it is a bit cheaper like quality than high-end paint, but it definitely does the trick. Then in that same section is the crafting tools. I have got quite a few different tools from there, things for like jewelry making. I've got pliers for that. I've got like a bone folder for paper crafting. They have all sorts of different tools there, and then also cool little jars, which is not so much my stumbling block as it is my daughter's. She loves the little jars and having them like display things in her room. And then also next to that, we've got all sorts of beads, some of which are more geared toward like kid crafting, and then some that are great for adult crafting. For the kid crafting stuff, I think you probably could get it cheaper if you like got one of those big kids crafting kits. But if your kids are anything like mine, their interests like come and go really quickly. So just getting like a few different kinds of like packs of beads and some string keeps them entertained for as long as they have that interest, and then they move on. We've definitely had those like big crafting kits and you only use like a fraction of it and then they're on to the next thing. So I think getting the smaller packages ends up being better in the long run. In the stationery section, there's one thing I do not buy from the Dollar Tree, and that is composition notebooks. Now, I love me a composition notebook, but where I live, Dollarama has better quality, better paper quality for their composition notebooks than Dollar Tree. So I skip over that for Dollar Tree. But pretty much anything else in their stationery section is a problem for me. And when I asked my daughter, what is the one thing that you like to buy from Dollar Tree? She just stared at me because, of course I know, it's notebooks. She has a giant tub in her room filled with notebooks, filled with filled notebooks. And most of these have come from dollar stores. So that is her weakness. I'm sure it is also mine. It is, many things are my weakness. I personally like these mini composition notebooks. They come in a 3-pack for $1.50, and I have been using them for years, but especially right now I'm doing a little experiment where I am carrying this around with me for a month, and this will probably end up being a full video on its own because this is a really neat experiment. Wow. That I actually have lots of things to say about, so stay tuned for that. Plus, one year my daughter gave she got some of these mini notebooks and got some pens and gave those for like birthday party favors. So she's actually giving kids something that they'll use instead of just a junk toy that will just break and never get used. We also just bought some kid scissors from there for the 2, almost 3-year-old. I don't know how good their scissor quality is, but you don't really want a good quality scissor for a 3-year-old anyway. And it's pink, made her happy. She's been cutting things like crazy. It's actually cutting paper for sure. So that was a win. A really neat thing that they have for $1.50 is clear acrylic stamps. So I have these cool bird ones. I love these. And I am a llama girl, and I got a set of these as well for $1.50. This girl cannot pass up a good deal. So I love these. I also love looking at the sticker section. I use a lot of stickers for my pen pal letters. I actually saw they had these stickers that could go on ceramic mugs. If my daughter had been there, we would have had to have bought them, but she wasn't there, so she doesn't know about them. We also use the rub-ons that they have for, I use them for pen pal letters sometimes, and then they also have lots of alphabet stickers, which I use for teaching the little kids about the alphabet. One thing we buy a decent amount of because of pen pals is these are envelopes, and I like these ones from there because they're super cheap, and the little kids like to play with envelopes quite a bit, pretend to mail things, and then I don't have to worry if I'm giving them like a cheap envelope. And it's just a basic envelope, but it's super easy to decorate to send to a pen pal if you want to make it look cool. They also have some of these cool little stationery kits. They come in these nice little bags. They have, there's a couple different colors. They have blank cards and envelopes, and then some little notebook paper as well, or you can use it for however you want, lined paper. I have bought their index cards for years. We sometimes use them for different school things. We've used them for sight words, for like math equations, like flashcards. Right now I'm using the large ones because I have a tendency to have large handwriting. For my prayer cards, I read a book called A Praying Life by Paul E. Miller in the spring, and ever since then I've been using index cards to write my prayers down, and I've been loving it. You can also buy like these little index card holders. Currently mine is just holding stickers, but what I have done in the past is written down verses on index cards and then worked on memorizing them, and then you kind of, once you've got 1 or 2 memorized, you put them in something like this. You go over them on a regular basis, you learn new ones, and then you kind of like review your old ones, etc. But these are also great for just holding tons of stickers for pen pal letters. I also really like their big zippered envelope pouch thingamabobbers. This holds a bunch of my papers and DIY homemade envelopes for pen pal letters once again, and it just keeps everything neat and organized in there. I have a few of these. And the last 2 things that we're going to talk about are candles. Now, I love their taper candles because we use these in the winter to make things feel less wintry, to make the gloom go away and make things feel a little bit more cozy. So we'll use them at the table in winter, and I appreciate how Dollar Tree just has like simple taper candles. That's great. They also, I have found a bunch of different candles there. I mean, they have a whole assortment, and sometimes the variety is different. One of my favorite is an amber citrus candle. I love the brown vase that it's in, and I love the scent. Honestly, it's like, I like the scent so much I don't even want to burn them. I love those. And then I also got a candle snuffer from the Dollar Tree that I use on a regular basis, especially with the taper candles whenever I want to put them out. The kids will even take turns putting them out and using the snuffer, and it's just from the Dollar Tree. Here we go. That was 20 plus, I don't even know, 20, who knows, 20 some things I like to buy at the Dollar Tree in the first like third half-ish of the store. I mean, this is the area I spend most of my time and money, but these are some of the things I like to buy from there. I would love to hear from that section of the store, what do you like to buy? And then the next section, which I will have to do a whole nother video on, what do you like to buy from the Dollar Tree? And if there was anything that I shared today that's like new to you that you hadn't thought about buying from there, I would love to hear that in the comments as well. Thanks for being here, guys.